content repurposing. If you've been around here at all, you know how much I love content repurposing. It is what I think the cornerstone to a good content strategy plan. Today, I'm going to share with you some amazing ideas you can try to grow your online business. Repurposing your long form content, I believe, is a smarter way to grow your business. Because if you're putting the work into creating amazing, fresh content for your online business, why not maximize its potential? Repurposing your long form content across different platforms can extend its reach, connect with new audiences, and ensure that your message sticks where it needs to stick. Let's go ahead and explore some strategic content repurposing ideas to grow your brand and make all that hard work count. Here are some repurposing basics to make your content work harder for you. I want you to think of your content repurposing as taking your original organic content and reshaping it for different formats and audiences. Whether you're creating for YouTube, a podcast, or your blog, following the rules for each platform is essential. But here's where content repurposing comes in, friend. After your initial content is live, you can adjust it strategically to ensure it gets the visibility it deserves across all the channels. I've been repurposing content before repurposing was even a thing. It all started because creating content for social media was draining me. Not only did I dread creating the original content for my blog, but I dreaded even more having to come up with ideas to post on social media. It was exhausting. I realized that if I was going to invest a lot of time in creating all my great original content for my blog at the time, I needed to make sure people actually saw it. Some of the repurposing that I did involved just taking one piece of my video content from YouTube and putting them on Instagram TV before TikTok or short form videos changed the social media game. And I guess really before that, it was taking the bits and pieces or the gold nuggets out of my blog post and using that in my social media captions. I want you to ask yourself, are you spreading the word about your content? When you publish a blog post, release a new podcast episode, or a YouTube video, do you share it with your email list to let them know? Do you also let your audience know via social media platforms? Often we focus so much on content creation that we forget the key step: promotion. And really, that is exactly what you're doing when you're repurposing your content. You're promoting it so people can find it. Repurposing content saves time and ensures your audience sees your messages in different places where they're at to increase its impact. And now, with zero-click marketing being such a big thing, this is key. Repurposing your content for social media, because the social media landscape is vast. But remember, you don't need to be on every platform. Instead, choose the platform that resonates the most with your ideal client and strategically repurpose your content to maximize its impact. For instance, take the main points from your blog post and turn them into Instagram carousels. You can easily repurpose those carousel slides into Pinterest pins, or take a key segment from your podcast episode and turn it into a short video clip to share on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, or Instagram. These bite-sized pieces of content keep your audience engaged without having to create everything from scratch. And that also allows them not to leave the platform that they're currently scrolling on. If you haven't already, and I've talked about it before, create a caption library for easy reuse. So when I began my business in 2016, I found a simple yet effective way to make repurposing even easier. I used Google Calendar to store my social media captions, setting them to repeat every 90 days. Whenever I felt stuck or uninspired, all I had to do was check my calendar and select from the captions I'd already written it. Over time, I built a small library of options that I could just tweak as I needed for that day's post. It was an effective way to reuse content in different ways without always starting from scratch. And these captions, friends, were not just all captions that were pulled from my blog. These were captions that I actually had written and were doing well in social media in regards to engagement, because that's key as well. You need to know what's performing well in your social media platforms. Today, I use Notion, but you can use Notion or Airtable. That's a great way to make this process even smoother, because you can create a dedicated caption library to store, categorize, and easily find the captions that you need in the moment. Not only does this save time, but this repurposed content is now evergreen content to help maintain consistency across all your different platforms. Use your content everywhere. Email newsletters. Don't overlook your email list. So often I hear about people forgetting to send emails to their list. Do that. Let them know that you have content. You've already built a loyal audience out of your email subscribers, so make sure they hear about your latest content. You're sharing all your good, juicy nuggets in there. Why would you not want to share that with your email list? Pull out your key insights from your podcast episode or your blog post and turn that into a valuable newsletter. If you listen to last week's episode with Katarina, she does that with her monthly journal and sending things out to her list monthly so that they can be directed back to her website. That's so valuable. It's also a great place to promote your new content and drive readers to your blog or your YouTube channel, as I just previously mentioned. Blog posts. So if you record a podcast or a YouTube video, transcribe it to create your blog post. That way you're not starting from scratch. Just be sure to edit the transcript so that it reads well and adding in your relevant keywords and enhancing it for readability. Because there is little point in actually creating a blog post if you're not using keywords. I'm sorry to say, I know it for a fact because I can see my result before I started working on my search engine optimization and after I've implemented a search engine optimization strategy into my business. I can see my increase for people getting to my website increasing week over week, and that's because I put an emphasis on SEO. When you take that transcript, it not only helps with your SEO, but also reaches those who prefer reading over watching or listening. Because there are tons of people out there that still like to read. Otherwise, we wouldn't have books, am I right? Your old blog posts. So give your old blog post a content upgrade. Even your best content can get a little bit stale over time, and you need to put in new bits of information because as you grow as a person and as a business owner, so does your knowledge. Why aren't you updating all of your old blog posts? Search engines or Google love it when you take your old content and add new ideas to that older content to make it relevant again. The easiest way to do this is to turn a popular post into new formats, such as a podcast or video. If you only had blog posts before, reuse those blog posts and make them a podcast or a YouTube video. That way you have long-form content in a different medium. Then use the Yoast SEO plugin to rewrite and republish the original blog post with the link to the podcast or video and all the new little tidbits of information that you've added into that content. Use this updated blog content and drop the link into Google Console. Don't skip this part, friend. To have your refreshed content become a new piece of content by having it re-indexed. That way Google knows that you've added something new to this and you're not waiting for it to actually get to the site and crawl it. You are doing it. You're letting it know. You're raising your hand and saying, hey, Google, I've created new content here. I refreshed this old content. Do you want to go back and re-index it for me? This is my favorite repurposing strategy by far for myself and my clients because I've seen the spike that does to search engine optimization or the spike in reach that it has with people coming to your website when you repurpose your content that way. Creating a repurposing plan for your online business. To avoid falling into the content hamster wheel, constantly churning out new content without ever pausing, you know what I'm talking about, right? create a plan to reuse and recycle what you've already produced. Here's a simple content repurposing process that I'd like you to try. Transcribe and edit. Yep, we talked about it before. After you record a podcast or a video, transcribe it to form the base of your blog post. Edit it to ensure readability and include those SEO optimized keywords. If you struggle, like I have in the past, to write SEO optimized content, try out the tool Rank IQ that Katarina talked about in last week's episode. You'll be creating great content in less time, I promise you. I tried it for myself and it really does work. If you've listened before, you know how I talk about my love for SEMrush's SEO writing tool. This works just as well. Break down your key points. So pull out the main points of your content and compile them into a Google Doc. This will serve as your gold nugget guide, making it easy to create your social media post, newsletter, or other types of content. The features with the script allow you to save so much time with the ability to highlight those short clips and then turn them into composition. Well, that's Descript's terms for it anyways. Then you can repurpose that to all the different social media channels as short form videos. Mix and match your social media. Repurpose those gold nuggets into your social media posts like Instagram carousels. Or if you're a TikToker, do some TikTok clips. Change up the visuals using tools like Canva to keep your posts fresh and engaging. And if you have a pro version of Canva, you know how easy they make it to resize into various formats. Turn your content into multiple formats. Your Instagram reels, turn them into Pinterest video pins, YouTube shorts. All of that short form video you can use across different platforms by resizing and repurposing it. And that takes just one piece of content and you can deliver it to the audiences in different formats to suit their preferences. And again, if you're using Canva, you can just do this with a click of a button by changing out the color in those actual reels or videos that you're creating with it. The 90-day repurposing rule. Well, I think it's a 90-day repurposing rule. If you need to have something on a different level, feel free to do it how you want to. For me, I like 90 days. It's like a quarter. Exactly like how I like to plan my business, quarter by quarter. After you create and publish your content, schedule it into a 90-day content calendar. The initial weeks of when you publish that content, you can feature more frequent posts to maximize the reach on it. And then after the first month, move that content into a 90-day rotation. That way you're revisiting it and keeping it relevant for your audience. Scheduling helps take the pressure off while ensuring your audience continues to see your amazing content, redirecting people back to your website, redirecting people to your podcast. Practical tools for repurposing. To make repurposing easier, set up templates for your content. If you like to use Pinterest pins and you want to put out, I think they call them fresh pins or new pins, then all you need to do is have a pack of this is the pins I use at 90 days. This is the pins I use at 180 days. It makes it easier because then you don't have to make a decision. You don't have to decide on what your pins are going to look like. You already have it done for you. And not only your Pinterest pins, but you can create templates for your Instagram posts. I know I need to have some sort of template-y looking thing. Otherwise, I spend forever thinking about what I want to do for an Instagram post. And don't forget about Facebook graphics as well, because I did see, I think Neil Patel put something out there about like the places that get the most reach for social media, and Facebook is still one of the #1 places. And these templates then can be used repeatedly to save you time and maintain a consistent brand look. As a quick side note, this content strategy is a great way to bring on a team member to help you, because once you have it all established, all you have to do is record some videos on how you use your process, and they can easily recreate it for you because you've already done all of the hard lifting. Also, keep everything organized in a project management system like Asana, Trello, or ClickUp. Friend, I don't care what you use. Find the one that works the best for you and just stick with it. Don't keep jumping software to software. Find what works for you. If you need something simple, I always recommend Trello. If you're a little bit more into processes, ClickUp is great, although they are making changes to their software and I haven't used it for a while. So it might be different. Asana is a nice middle of the road. And I want you to link those gold nuggets from your Google Doc, because you're going to have a gold nugget Google Doc, into your project management software so you can help you stay on top of what needs to be repurposed and when. This is especially important to avoid that burnout and keep your process manageable. And again, make it easy when you bring on a content VA. Okay, friends, it's time to wrap this up with some quick key takeaways for you. Your time and energy are incredibly valuable. Don't forget it. Time and energy are the things that are non-renewable resources for you. So instead of always creating something new, leverage the long-form content you've already invested your time and energy into creating to reach different audiences in a strategic way. A solid repurposing content plan helps you be everywhere your ideal client is without exhausting yourself. Which of these repurposing strategies have you tried? Do you feel you could simplify your content workflow by creating a structured plan to recycle your long-form content? Hey friend, send me a DM on Instagram with your thoughts, and let's make sure all your hard work continues to work for you. Thank you, friends, so much for listening. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week. And remember, repurpose strategically, market consistently, and reach wider audiences effortlessly. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.